This is a quick tutorial on how to set up a Waggler float, whilst avoiding the 3 common mistakes many anglers make during the setup process. Let's get started. The 2 main types of Waggler float you'll usually encounter are the straight waggler and the insert waggler. Straight wagglers perform best when used at longer distances as they are easier to see from afar. Their thicker tips are also buoyant enough to support the weight of larger baits. Insert wagglers are more suited for fishing shorter distances and during calmer conditions. Their finer tips also provide a more sensitive bite indication. Both straight and insert wagglers come in loaded and unloaded versions. The key difference between the two is that a loaded waggler has a portion of the weight needed to set the float pre-attached to its base. Let us take a look at the tackle you require to tie a Waggler rig. You'll need a Waggler float, split shot, some float stops, a loop tire, and some pre-tied hook lengths. For loaded wagglers, begin by threading 2 float stops onto your line, followed by your float, and 2 more float stops. This setup secures the float in place, while also allowing your float to be easily moved up and down your line, which is essential for adjusting the depth of your rig. Unloaded wagglers are attached to your line using a split shot either side of the float. These shots should make up around 80% of the float's total shot capacity. The first common mistake some anglers make is trapping the float between the float stops or shot. Leave a 1 cm gap between the float stops or shot to allow the float to fold out of the way on the strike. I recommend the use of pre-tied hook lengths instead of directly tying your hook to your line, as this gives you the flexibility to change your hook size when changing to a different bait, or to replace a blunt or damaged hook without cutting your line and changing the depth of your rig. To attach your hook length, you need to tie a small loop in the end of your line. A loop tire is perfect for this, as I find them quicker and easier when tying small loops. You then attach your hook length via a loop-to-loop connection. I've placed a link to my complete loop tying guide showing you how to do all of this in the description below. Now, it's time to add the split shot needed to properly set the float. This is the second area some anglers make mistakes, as incorrect shotting can cause tangles when casting and poor bait presentation. The trick here is to place a small shot, such as a number 6 or number 8, directly above your hook length. This is your dropper shot or telltale shot. Its purpose is to help you detect lift bites. This is when the float lifts up should a fish pick up your bait and move up in the water. About 6 inches above your dropper shot, you begin to add the rest of your split shot. They can be evenly spaced out up your line if you're trying to catch fish as the bait drops through the water, or grouped together if you're targeting those bigger fish that usually feed on the bottom. The third mistake many anglers make is not adding the correct amount of weight to your line to properly set the float. You only need about 1 cm of the tip showing above the water. This is so your float is sensitive enough to avoid missing delicate bites, while still being visible enough to see at distance. You should now have a properly set up Waggler float that will maximise your success when fishing this method. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more easy to follow fishing tutorials.